About a week ago, Apple released a brand new $400 iPhone. But that does pose a problem. You see, that puts it firmly in the realms of other budget phone manufacturers. So where does this iPhone really stack up against these other manufacturers that have held the market for so long? Well, first of all, let's take a look at the actual phone itself. The phone is the second generation version of Apple's infamous iPhone SE. Now, the iPhone SE did so well because it was cramming everything from the 6S into a 5S shell. The iPhone SE second generation is simply doing the same thing. It's taking everything good from an 11 Pro and cramming it into an 8 shell. Now, Apple's having a good year with small refreshes. It started with the MacBook Air, updating the keyboard inside and some of the internals, and now that is seen as one of their best products in their lineup. Similarly, they did the same about a month ago with the iPad Pros. They updated the internals, added some cameras and a LiDAR sensor, as well as released a couple of new products with it. And now this is the third product in the Apple ecosystem to get the same treatment. Like the first generation of the iPhone SE, this is going to be a complete powerhouse. It uses the same A13 Bionic chips as in the 11 Pro models, but because the screen is a lot smaller, it means it has less pixels to push, which means a lot of that power can be used elsewhere in the phone. It comes with almost the same connectivity as in the 11 Pro models, both with the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.0. And like all iPhones in their lineup, it comes with wireless charging and fast charging. So with an 18-watt charger, you can get 50% battery life in just under 30 minutes. It comes in three colours, red, black and white. However, although it only has one camera sensor, it does shoot 12 megapixel pictures and 4K video. However, it does lack a dedicated ultra-wide lens, which is often seen in other phones in this price point. Now, like I said before, this puts it in the mid-tier territory, with the likes of Samsung, Oppo, Pixel and Huawei. So how does it really compare alongside these brands? For example, you've got the Pixel 3a, you've got the Galaxy A71, you've got the Oppo Reno 2, as well as the Huawei P30. Now, one key difference between the Android and the iPhones is that the Android counterparts are much larger. They are all around 150mm tall, where the iPhone is only around 138. For a lot of people, this does mean it's more comfortable to hold. But one major disadvantage the iPhone has is its LCD display. Now, an LCD display is quite old in technology standards. All the other Android phones use a mixture of OLED and Super AMOLED displays, which when you place it next to a LCD panel, you can definitely see the difference. Another noticeable difference will be its screen to body ratio. Most phones these days use most, if not all, of the display real estate. This is something that is definitely lacking on the iPhone, with a design that we've seen all the way back to the iPhone 6. A lot of Android phones also have 6GB of RAM, whereas the iPhone only has 3. But that's not always telling. You see, with the A13 Bionic chip, it only needs that 3 because it manages the power far better. Android phones all have one major disadvantage though, and that comes down to support. Apple will support this phone for 5-6 years from now, whereas Android phones don't really have that longer lifespan. Apple claim that this is the best single-lensed iPhone on the market, which in today's standards isn't really a lot to shout about because most phones these days have more than one lens. But Apple has had a long heritage of good cameras, and with that 4K sense, you are definitely getting a lot for your money. One of the biggest competitors that will be coming up is the Pixel 4a. Now, Pixel and Apple do a lot of toing and froing with which is the best camera. But with an iPhone, you do get other perks. You get access to the Apple ecosystem, which is far superior to Android's. Now, this phone isn't aimed at tech enthusiasts. With its big bezels and single lens camera, it is more aimed toward the mid-tier range. But for that $400 price point, it is definitely a bargain for what you are getting. I hope you found this video useful, and please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more tech news and videos. See you soon, thank you and take care.